How can you assure the American people that you won't have another night like the one you did in Atlanta?
Look at my career. I've not had many of those nights. It was a terrible night, and I really regret it happened. But the fact of the matter is, how can you assure you're going to be on faith that can intervene on your way to go to, work tomorrow?
What? How can you assure that you're going to make it to work tomorrow? We have huge live breaking news, Nez Nation. The vegetable-in-chief Tombstone Biden wrote 2-page letter today, July 8th, 2024, in the year of our Lord, 2024, to the Democratic leadership. I'm going to go through it, but I want to play one more clip of this supposedly random phone call to the Morning Joe show. Check this out.
The American public is not going to move away from me as an average voter. And again, I'm here for 2 reasons, pal. One, to rebuild the economy for hardworking middle-class people, give everybody a shot. Just a straight shot. Everybody gets a fair chance, number one. Number two, remember all this talk about how I don't have the black support? Come on, give me a break. Come with me. Watch. I'm getting so frustrated by the elites. Now, I'm not talking about you guys, but about the elites in the party who they know so much more. But if any of these guys don't think I should run against me, go ahead, announce for president. Challenge me in the convention.
It's interesting that the president talks about elites. It's almost as if, all these things that they've been saying about, channels like myself, independent channels, maybe even more specifically, people like Alex Jones referring to the global elites and the great Rush Limbaugh, God rest his soul, talking about the global elite. When did he start using this term, the elites, the elitists? And who is he referring to? Is that a direct challenge to Michelle Obama, Barack Obama? Who are the elitists? Bill Clinton, Hillary Clinton? I would love to know what your thoughts are on this. But check this out. Here is the letter that I guarantee he didn't write, penned by supposedly Joseph R. Biden Jr., July 8th, 2024. Fellow Democrats, it is about 2 pages long, and you can see his signature there at the bottom. But let's read this really quickly. Now that you have returned from the July 4th recess, I want you to know that despite all the speculation in the press and elsewhere, I am firmly committed to staying in this race, to running this race to the end and beating Donald Trump. Whoa. I have had extensive conversation with the leadership of the party, elected officials, rank and file members, and most importantly, Democratic voters over these past 10 days or so. I have heard the concerns, their good faith, fears, and worries about what is at stake at this election. I am not blind to them. Believe me, I know better than anyone the responsibility and the burden the nominee of our party carries. I carried it in 2020 when the fate of our nation was at stake. But this is 4 years later, and you are obviously in the throes of major cognitive decline. It's not even minor anymore. I also know these concerns come from a place of real respect for my lifetime public service and my record as president. I have been moved by the expressions of affections for me. I've been grateful for the rock-solid, steadfast support from so many elected Democrats, Congress, and all across the country, and taking great strength from the resolve and determination I've seen from so many voters and grassroots supporters, even in the hardest of weeks. I can respond to all this by saying clearly and unequivocally, I wouldn't be running if I did not absolutely believe I was the best person to beat Donald Trump in 2024. We had a Democratic nomination process, and the voters have spoken clearly and decisively. Yeah, that was a while ago. I've received over 14 million votes, 87% of those votes cast across the entire nominating process. I have nearly 3,900 delegates making the presumptive nominee of our party by a wide margin. Now, you guys know in this channel, we implement something that I've not only studied, researched, written about, but I've taught at some of the top universities, and that is Aristotle's principles of rhetoric: ethos, pathos, logos, audience, purpose, message. What's he using right here? I would love to hear from you, my amazing, sophisticated, intelligent audience. Which one of the three rhetorical appeals is he using? Is he using ethos, aka credibility, pathos, emotion, or logos, logic? It's interesting that he's talking about the voting process, the nomination process, almost as if he's trying to convince them, hey, we can't undermine democracy. We keep saying democracy's on the ballot. Interesting how he's using this rather than what we, with our plain eyes and ears and our senses and our intellect, have absorbed for not only this past Thursday and the debate and the past couple of weeks, but for months and years. This was a process open to anyone who wanted to run. Only 3 people chose to challenge me. One fared so badly that he left the primaries to run as an independent. Another attacked me for being too old and was soundly defeated. The voters of the Democratic Party have voted. They have chosen me to be the nominee of the party. Do we just now say, here's some rhetorical questions, do we just now say this process didn't matter? That the voters don't have a say? So he's appealing to logic. He's appealing to the credibility of the nation, of the process, something that this party, I don't call them the Democratic Party. I call them really the far extreme radical woke mafia. They're the ones who keep saying decency's on the ballot, right? So you're going to push this presumptive nominee, the guy who your constituents voted for, off the ballot? I decline to do that. I feel a deep obligation to the faith and trust the voters of the Democratic Party have placed in me to run this year. It was their decision to make, not the press, not the pundits, and not the big donors. Wow. Not any selected group of individuals, no matter how well intentioned. The voters and the voters alone decide the nominee, of the Democratic Party. How can we stand for democracy in our nation if we ignore it in our own party? By the way, this is the first time I'm reading this letter, and I'm doing this intentionally so I can really in real time dissect this message. So what did I just say 5 minutes ago? He just said it right there. I cannot do that. I will not do that. I have no doubt that I and we can and will beat Donald Trump. We have this is what Snuffleupagus, George Snuffleupagus in his interview was telling him, saying, hey, do you actually think you can beat this guy? Do you actually think that you're ahead, Mr. President? Because with all intents and purposes, you're not, right? We have a historic record of success to run on, from creating 15 million jobs, including 200,000 just last month, reaching historic lows on unemployment, revitalizing American manufacturing. This is all BS. This is all BS. Big Pharma. There's the same platitudinous talking points that he mentioned before. More importantly, we have an economic vision. What? And again, here he goes. Look at this. By the way, this is public record, this letter. As a president, you're supposed to be uniting the country. You're alienating half the country, over half the country. But you keep referring to these people as MAGA extremists, Republicans. You don't refer to them as Americans. As a president, you're supposed to bridge the divide, not expand the divide. His leadership is toxic at best. They are siding with the wealthy and the big corporations, and we are siding with the working people of America. BS. It was an isolated moment for Trump to stand at Mar-a-Lago and tell the oil industry it wasn't, and as isolated many, 1 billion, he'll do whatever they want. That's whose side Trump and the MAGA Republicans are on. Again, alienation. Trump and MAGA want another $5 trillion. This is all BS. Trickle-down economics. They're determined to, so this is all BS. Let's just cut to the chase. He's talking about all this stuff Trump wants to do. By the way, I'll leave a link to this letter in the description show notes down below if you want to read this whole letter. But I just, for brevity's sake and just for my intolerance to suffer fools and suffer BS, I'm gonna skip through this. We are the ones lowering costs for families. No, you're actually increasing it. The inflation is not indicative of price gouging and price adjustment because of what you did. You're not protecting the freedoms of America because you have open borders. Roe versus Wade, BS, bunch of BS. This is all BS. Okay, let's cut to the chase here. Standing up for American democracy. After January 6th, the Trump has proven he's unfit to ever hold office. BS. We can never allow him anywhere near that office again, and we never will. I beg to differ, sir. My fellow Democrats, we have the record, the vision, and the fundamental commitment. Even though I'm senile, out of it, and cannot even talk for more than 2 minutes without making it abundantly clear that I am mentally unfit to serve the highest executive office in the land. The question of how to move forward has been well aired for over a week now, and it's time to end. Whoa. We have one job, and that is to beat Donald Trump. Not unite the country, not make America proud and better, and make America first instead of giving all our money to foreign proxy wars. We have 42 days to the Democratic Convention and 119 days to the general election. Any weakening of resolve or lack of clarity about the task ahead only helps Trump and hurts us. So questioning you and your sycophantic, power-hungry, fiendish cretin of a family, deranged lunatic wife, that's weakening the resolve or lack of clarity? I don't know about that. It is time to come together, move forward as a unified party, and defeat Donald Trump. So we're not unifying the country. We're not bringing all American citizens together. I don't work for all American citizens. I essentially work for myself. Sincerely, Joseph R. Biden Jr., President of the United States of America. So with all intents and purposes, everybody, it seems as though the President of the United States, Joseph Biden, is, with all intents and purposes, with the utmost clarity and without any deniability, he is fully 1 billion% committed to running. And I don't think it has anything to do with him. I don't think he wrote this. I think his arguments and his cases are weak and feeble. He is in denial, and he's trying to pull the mask over his party's eyes, our eyes, the American public's eyes, everybody's eyes. What is abundantly clear, the emperor wears no clothes. He's trying to deny the truth that everybody can see and hear with their own eyes and ears. And it's really tragic, as a matter of fact. I mean, this is Shakespearean. This is King Lear. This is, again, somebody whose hubris has overtaken their ability to see clearly. Their myopia, their narrow focus, and their narrow perspective, and their lack of true objective clarity and vision is abundantly clear. But I want to throw this off to you guys. What do you guys think of this letter? What do you think of his crazy maniacal rant calling into the Morning Joe show, calling them elitists? I'm sick and tired of this crap. We got to beat Donald Trump, etc. All these MAGA people, etc. What do you guys think of that? I'd love to hear your comments down below. As always, it's very difficult for me to respond. I try with my whole soul best to respond to all the comments, but it's literally impossible. I would behoove you to become a member. It only costs you a cup of coffee a month. Not only do you get access to our members-only Discord, a thriving, engaging group of like-minded people, and you support the channel, but you also get a whole bunch of other amenities and perks, and you get top priority for responses and top priority when we have guests on for live Q&A. That link is down below in the description and show notes. If you made it this far, I would also implore you, this is free, to sign up for our free newsletter so you never miss out on all the latest top-breaking current events and news that mainstream woke media won't cover conveniently to your inbox. That's in the pinned comment, show notes, and description. Just give us your best email. We don't spam. I don't share with any third party, and you're in. I would highly, highly recommend that. Check out these videos coming up on the screen right there. Follow, subscribe, and as always, may God bless you, and may God bless America. I'll see you soon.